My name is Divitto, and I have my own company called Collette's Cookies.
So what inspired you to, make cookies and start a business?
Um, I always loved baking since I was 4 years old. I learned baking from high school. Then from high school, I was bullied a lot. And also I did not have a social life to take my sister and my brother. I had no friends back then from high school. And honestly, I don't always feeling down on myself a lot, and that's why I started baking. Baking will always be as my fun hobby. I have been taking a baking classes from high school every weekends down at my hometown down at with the Collettey. I always start baking all the way from things such as cakes and pies and with puffins. I make all the way from things as my fun hobby. Then after high school, I went to college. I went to something super sketchy. They have a 3 year lab program with there. It's a learn about how to get a job. I actually graduated in the 2 years of their 3 year program. But after I actually left college, I moved up here in Boston. From 3.5 years, I moved up here. I will I'll say between 13 to 14 job interviews. You really want to find as a full-time job if you work in if you work in a big four building like uh as big companies is to earn money. Listen, if you make money to earn a living, I did that, and then from there, and from there, hour later, I did not get a phone call, just email saying that it was going to meet you in person, but at the time we feel I am not a good fit. And then from there, I actually started my own company in 2016. That is 6 years. I have 15 employees.
When the business started, there wasn't a decision made to start the business. Collette was really going into a little bit of depression because she graduated a program at Clemson University early, thought she, really was in charge of her life, interviewed for a couple of years, and nobody would hire her. So when she brought these cookies that she always made, that everybody knew about her and these cookies, it was her recipe. When she brought it to a market just to see if maybe they would sell them and she could earn a couple of bucks, they loved them, and they ordered 100 packages. And
by the end of the day.
Yeah, by the end of the day. And right then and there, when she came home and said, "Oh yeah, I need to make 1,200 cookies in 3 days." And I thought, what? So it happened overnight where I didn't even have time to think. I didn't have a thought process. I just said to Collette, you need to open up a business. You can't put cookies on a shelf and not have a business and not have insurance. So for 7 days, Collette and I worked side by side, getting insured, becoming a business, developing a website, developing an e-commerce store. Like it happened so fast that I didn't really even think about it. I didn't think it would really turn into anything that it is now. And never would I have thought I would be her employee.
So what have you learned from Collette?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Never feel sorry for yourself.
Ooh.
She's commenting. Definitely never feel sorry for yourself. Don't focus on just don't focus on your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. Really be strong enough to focus on your weaknesses and try to improve them, or just understand yourself better. And I think I've also learned from her self-acceptance. Accept who you are and how God's made you, and love yourself.
For the cookies, I make all 6 different types of cookies. They are cinnamon chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin, healthy quick with peanut butter, gluten free, and chocolate. I make all of those. I have 2 different companies. Just for the cookies, I actually do have a second company. It's called Nonprofit. I have been teaching classes. I have been teaching how to start on company.
We teach classes on a regular basis. You know, right now we're mentoring 5 individuals that are actually all born Down syndrome that also have a company, but they don't know how to market their company, how to tell their story, how to grow it. And so we've been working with them since October and helping them develop their brand and their story and their, so it's pretty awesome. I don't know how we have enough time in the day to do all this.
Yeah.
But it seems to be happening, and we do it, and we love it. We love every aspect.
My mission is about about creating more jobs for people with their own different type of their disabilities.
How is it working with your mom?
It's the best. I actually do love working with my mom. Sometimes she always, no, most of the time she gets on my last nerves. So we're doing our own creations from my company. So I learned baking all by myself. That's what I know about baking since I was 4 years old. With my mom, she really can do for her creation of her own work. It taught me about marketing and emails and set up all the Zoom calls and meetings for me. Like all of those things, that's what she actually does.
Collette is a very good boss. She's very regimented, and she likes to set up things in a system. And she's made it very easy for people with disabilities to work for her the way she is set up, because it's how her mind works. Her mind always works in a way to strategize to make things easier for her, to be more efficient. So in that respect, it's incredible. In another respect, she's a tough boss. Like, she expects nothing less, and she expects perfection out of every single cookie she makes. So in that respect, I would say she's a tough boss.
How does it feel for you to be helping people of all abilities?
So actually, I feel really inspired of those people with their own different type of their disabilities. if yeah, I feel that way of them. But because um because all of those people with a disabilities, they feel inspired by me, not because of my whole story of my company.
When I was researching, I saw both of you are art authors. How is it that, you know, you got it, not only the business, but you share a lot in common?
Yeah, I think we both feel that, well, first of all, we're very faithful people. We believe in God. We're very spiritual. So we don't believe that life is about us. We believe we need to be the best we can be, and life is about loving one another and helping one another also. So I think even like as I've raised Collette, I've had so many parents reach out to me, even when she was in high school, and say, "What are you doing with her? She seems like, you know, she's got so much going on. She's doing all these amazing things. Can I sit down and talk to you and ask you, you know, like, what are you doing with her? You know, I have a child." And so people ended up constantly saying to me, "You should write a book. You should write a book. You should write a book." And I realized that the reason of writing a book was not for my own, you know, a credit to say I wrote a book. It was more because parents kept coming to me asking me for information and advice. So I just thought at one point I was like, you know what, I'm going to write this book, even though it's not my thing. I'm going to write it. I'm going to dummy it down. I'm going to write it on a very dummy level. And I'm going to keep all the fluff out of it. I'm just going to write, this is exactly what I did. These are exactly the things that I felt helped Collette a lot. And as Collette, it was very interesting because as Colette's story got bigger and bigger, there was very interesting transition where Collette thought the world was about her. No offense, Collette. But you did for a while. She was like, "Oh, I'm great. The world's about me." And her sister, Blake, and I kept saying to her, "This is bigger than that, Collette. What you're doing is bigger than that. It's what you represent." And we kept explaining to her that she's bringing so much inspiration and hope to other people that have a disability, have any challenge in life, are in depression, can't get their life together, and families that have newborns and young children that are worried, you know, what's the life of my child going to be like? So when Collette started to realize, and she started to get all these calls from all these people with disabilities saying, "You're my hero. Oh my gosh." And all of a sudden it clicked with her that she was like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't really about my cookie company, is it?" And we were like, "Exactly." And that's when she said, "Well, I can tell a lot of stories. Like, I can tell stories of when I was younger, how I handled things, how I hated when I had to get an aide in the classroom, and I fought that, and I got into trouble, but it ended up turning into an unbelievably great year." And we sat down and I was like, "This would be awesome, Collette." You know, so it was also in her respect, it was also to help encourage other families. And she's got a second book coming out, Collette in third grade. And I think over the summer I think, Collette, you're starting your third book, which is like Collette in middle school. And then there'll be a Collette in high school. And then there'll be Collette at college and opening her business. So she's going to have this whole sequel of books, and it's for support services, you know, and encouragement.
I am Colette. I am an entrepreneur and I make cookies.
I have my own TV show on Peacock and also on Wave all over in Canada. That show is with two entrepreneurs. I am actually one of them. We have been working on these abilities, and so many things. Also, I have to do that show. There is only 10 episodes. That show it's called a Bone for Business. I was on a few very more talk show.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah, but actually, I was not there in person. She was actually talking about me and my cookies on her talk show.
How does it feel to be talked about on such large TV shows?
How, how do I feel? I would say ecstatic to be so excited to be is to talk about me on her talk show. I feel that way. So
What do you like about baking?
I just like to be my own boss. I love doing that. But because I do love baking, but I have to say, in my favorite part of my company is, I say, yeah, baking. Yes, is yeah, baking. I love doing
What would you say to people who want to be like you,
is to
to
start
start your own
own
company?
company. Oh yeah. So there's actually two different things. One is love what you do. That is the first thing. And second thing is you need to work hard. It's just that two things. That is it.